Welcome back, and we say a happy Friday to our friend Mike Epple standing by. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Doing well. Okay, this is a conversation we've had several times over about a vaccine passport and what provinces are going to do, what our country is going to do. So let's start with the province of Quebec. What are they doing?
Bringing in a QR code on your smartphone. Vaccine passport for all intents and purposes, Melanie, and saying that they are not going to lock down again if there is another outbreak. They figure that they can, track vaccine distribution this way. And you're going to need to show that you've been doubly vaxxed to go into gyms and bars and all sorts of other things. It's not in place yet, but apparently they're downloading this already. And this is going to be an interesting, again, test case scenario for other jurisdictions on the reopening plan. And again, it's the so-called carrot. Show that you're doubly vaxxed. Do what you want.
This is really interesting from a technology standpoint. That would mean all of these businesses are going to have it, the technology to be able to scan this QR code, make sure, and then it's up to the staff to be trained up that way. There are a lot of question marks, and not everyone's going to be happy about it.
And the flip side, of course, privacy issues.
Yes.
And civil libertarians would say, "What? I'm not giving you my information." But if it's a scenario where it's just this one item for the public good, then that's what they're going to push through in Quebec, and we'll see how the take-up rate and how it works.
All right, so we will be, I know, definitely in the province of Ontario. We're looking very closely to see how that one's going to run. Let's talk about the border. We're going to have, we heard Trudeau speak in our previous news pack. We're going to hear from the Niagara Falls mayor. A lot of different standpoints when it comes to when and how our border is going to reopen. Now, is this going to be an election point, do you think, on how this is all treated?
Yeah, the Canadian Chamber of Commerce actually saying, don't do an election until we actually have a border reopening plan. That should be the first priority. Perrin Beatty's the head of that organization saying, look, the tourism season is almost half over, and there's no firm idea to reopen the Canada-U.S. border. The Prime Minister is saying, double vaccination will be one of the go no-go rules. But again, when are we going to get the specific details? And until then, the idea of an election should be put off. But if they get that now, then, they could maybe call things sometime in August.
We have a blockbuster film coming to theaters, but we, my friend, will not be going to the theaters because they are still closed.
Yeah, the operator of Cineplex, has been saying, can you let some people into the theaters in this province? Not yet.
No.
And then we've got Black Widow coming out this weekend, and this is going to be, there was the Fast and Furious movie a couple of weeks back, which brought in, $70 million plus at the U.S. box office, huge numbers, and this could be even bigger than that because apparently it's pretty good. And, of course, anything Disney/Marvel always draws all sorts of interest. I guess we'll just have to download it again, as we've been doing here for the past, year and a half.
Yeah, and later on in the show, Devo Brown and Scarlett Johansson are like this. I don't know if you know, but he had an interview with her, so stay tuned for that. Yeah.
Lucky.
They're buddies. Did you say lucky?
Lucky.
You're a fan of ScarJo?
I like everything. I like everything superhero.
Okay, very cool.
DC, Marvel, doesn't matter.
You're
involved
there.
with it. Big thumbs up.
Okay, big thumbs up for Mike Epple. Let's talk about the markets. A big thumbs up. Actually, no, big thumbs down.
Although maybe back up today. Yesterday was the worst day. Yesterday was the worst day in 4 months for the TSX, Melanie, as we saw a drop of 1.1%. Oh my goodness! That kind of tells you that this market has gone up and away here for the past while, and so it was sort of insignificant, all things considered. But the first real triple-digit drop we've seen. Today we get the jobs numbers for the month of June, and those should see a bounce back for last month because, the economy has slowly been reopening, more so in other provinces than here, but 100,000 jobs in the spotlight for the Stats Canada data.
Okay, and finally for you, Flair Airlines. Flair Airlines. Remind our viewers about Flair Airlines.
They're a discount airline out of Edmonton, and they already serve 20 Canadian destinations, some of the secondary airports in some cases. As of October 31st, they're looking at 6 U.S. vacation destinations. So they figure that things are going to be much more open than where they are now, and just more competition though for Air Canada and WestJet, which probably want to see a bounce back of their own business. So it's going to be interesting to see what the prices will be when we get to travel more extensively later this year.
All right, Mike, as always, appreciate your time. Have a lovely weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Talk to you soon. All right, 619 is what we're sitting at right now. The World Health Organization saying one continent just had its worst pandemic week ever. We're going to tell you where that is next.